Today, we're going to be reviewing... Kate.
Yeah.
You can't be playing with that the whole time during your... You got to kind of be part of the conversation. I know you love him, but...
He's so cute.
I know. If I let you hold him, can you like stay focused on the actual review?
No. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We're talking about The Mandalorian Season 2.
Mandalorian Season 2.
Hey guys, Vince Leno here. Today I'm reviewing a TV episode, a single TV episode. This time it is the first episode for The Mandalorian Season 2. The Mandalorian 2 takes place roughly shortly after the events of The Mandalorian Season 1 and follows Baby Yoda and Din Djarin, aka The Mandalorian, played by, what's his name again? Pedro Pascal.
Nice.
I thought Din Djarin was actually his actual name, and I just messed everything up.
Nope. Pedro Pascal.
Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal, is trying to get Baby Yoda back to his home planet or back to the Jedi, while also trying to restore honor to his original covert group of Mandalorians. For my special guest for this episode, I have with me my girlfriend Kate McDonald.
Hi.
And Kate, you're not a Star Wars fan.
No.
But you love this show.
Yes.
So just why do you love The Mandalorian specifically so much compared to other Star Wars materials?
Okay, the biggest reason is because there's not that many characters that I have to remember the names and planets of all these things that are very confusing and very hard to remember, like Tatooine. That's a very odd place and it's just hard for me to remember. But, yes it is. I do like that it's a more modern version of Star Wars. It just looks updated. I like the old-fashioned way of doing things. I just think it appeals to my eye more. Like, it's more eye-catching.
It's nice to see things in Star Wars that are, especially in this, because this is so close to the original trilogy, and seeing things in this time period that are more updated is actually really, really appealing, I think. And you also, I think it works for people like you because you get to see these iconic things, but you don't have to, like, know everything about... Like, you don't have to know Luke Skywalker grew up on Tatooine to appreciate the planet and everything that goes on.
And I'll add one more thing, too.
Go ahead.
It's in 45-minute episodes, which is really easy to follow along. And it keeps my attention the whole time. It's very exciting. It's very fast-paced.
The show overall has, like, this, like, serialized 50s, 60s, like, Western approach. It kind of reminds me of, like, Bonanza or like, The Rifleman. Every episode is the Rifleman and his son, and they get into different situations and different characters and stuff. And this is the Mandalorian and the child getting into different situations. And there's this overarching story which is very simple to follow, which is the connection between the child and the Mandalorian.
That's what's most appealing.
Yeah, it's very simple to follow.
Yeah.
I think Star Wars is... it works the best when it's simple. The themes are not too complicated, they're pretty easy to grasp, and I think that's why some things have gotten lost in translation and just been downright terrible. The Last Jedi! What?
I felt some shade on that one.
Oh.
Saw shade, felt shade, he threw shade, salty,
Shade
I don't
from
know.
The sun? What? This first episode is, at least for now how it seems, this is a side quest episode. Trying to track down Baby Yoda's homeworld is being put on the back burner to find other Mandalorians to guide him to find Baby Yoda. So it's still part of the main quest. But then he finds out that there is a Mandalorian walking around on Tatooine. Mando gets to the planet. He goes to Mos Poros, or it's not Mos Eisley, but it's a different part of Tatooine. So he goes there. It's a really small rundown town. It looks almost like a a deserted western town. And Mando goes to a bar to ask if he can find the Mandalorian that roams around those parts, and somebody shows up in Boba Fett's armor. And the initial reaction is, that's Boba Fett! But something's off. Like, something was immediately off when I saw that. And obviously the guy sits down, he takes off his helmet, and it's Timothy Olyphant playing a character named Cobb Vanth, who's in, I believe, the Aftermath novels. It's already established, like, his origin, that he came across this armor in the desert, at least in the books, but it's reestablished in the show that he bought it off Jawas. And he was able to defend this town that was overrun by Imperials, or this, like, kind of Star Wars version of a biker gang, it looks like. He's able to use this armor to actually defend his town because he was kind of too weak to, I guess. And so he wears the armor as kind of like a sheriff's badge. Mando wants the armor back and he's not going to give it back, but then you find out that there is a Dune-like monster that is bringing havoc to the town and to the Sand People and all the surrounding folks. So Mando and him strike a deal. If you help us destroy the Krayt Dragon, I will give you back your armor.
There's a lot of build-up. There's a lot of build-up to that moment when you think that finally, after all those episodes that we see what might be Boba Fett finally appear, it wasn't actually him, but it wasn't necessarily a letdown, because it was like, okay, well, how is this going to play out? Are we going to see Boba Fett, or is this, like, just the guy that's playing? Is this all that we get?
It sets up Boba Fett's story, a reintroduction, in an interesting way, because you could have easily just been like, oh, it's Boba Fett and he's changed and he's gonna fight Mandalorian and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
But they choose to, like, use his armor as this really cool, like, storytelling MacGuffin. And I mean, immediately you just feel like that's not Boba Fett. I mean,
right.
And I know you don't have, like, a pre-established history of who Boba Fett is, but he's just an important character in Star Wars lore. People love him. He's a really cool character that really hasn't been given much lore, but people have been dying to see his lore. Lucasfilm they don't cross over, like, the books that are supposed to tie into like the new trilogy and the shows. But there's no real crossover, and this is the first time that they've acknowledged something like that, where, like, yes, this character that was in one of the recent books that we've done is in the show. And he's a really cool character too. I mean, Timothy Olyphant is an awesome actor. He plays him with, like, real swagger. I mean, he's obviously from shows like, I believe he was in Justified, Deadwood. He does a great job of playing cowboys. And he plays this character, Cobb Vanth, really well. He's got a lot of great, like, western-y Star Wars one-liners. His arc is kind of about how he wears the Boba Fett armor to kind of shield himself from the fact that he alone can't defend this town. Like, he doesn't feel like he's capable of being the leader that he's trying to be. He's pretending to be, and the Boba Fett armor makes him feel powerful.
He reminded me of another actor. Sean Maguire, I think, is who I told you he reminded me of.
Who's Sean Maguire?
He plays Robin Hood on Once Upon a Time.
Oh, okay.
I think his name is Sean Maguire.
We'll
Don't quote me on that. Yeah, fact check that.
You'll see if she's right or wrong.
Cobb Vanth?
Yeah. Cobb Vanth.
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 Cobb Vanth. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Through the interaction with the Mandalorian, he learns to be that sheriff that the town needs without necessarily relying on the armor. And he's actually able to unite the Sand People to destroy the Krayt Dragon. And there's a lot of, I mean, that final scene, like, that was so cool. As a kid playing with Star Wars action figures and you want to see, like, certain characters team up, like, that's kind of how that felt, seeing the Mandalorian and Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett's armor, like, flying around in the jetpacks and shooting at the Krayt Dragon, and then the Sand People down below with the villagers shooting, like, catapults like, it seems like something my brother and I would like crudely put together as like a playset. Like, we get our catapults from our medieval castle playset, and then we'd get like little sand people action figures and other miscellaneous action figures that we have from different properties, and then we have our like main guys, like our Mandalorian action figure, our Boba Fett action figure, and they're flying around and shooting, and maybe the crate dragon is like a stuffed, like a Beanie Baby dragon or something. Like, it just seems like something that would be like put together like a little kid playing with his action figures and like making up these like awesome showdown stories in his mind.
Oh, that was the coolest scene, I think, in the entire episode. I loved the dragon. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Smaug from The Hobbit.
Yeah, I got
a
couple of vibes from that.
But it was kind of creepy. It, for some reason, kind of reminded me of like a crab, like a really scary crab at the bottom of an ocean, but somehow living on land under the sand.
Yeah, that's kind of like it was kind of like a fish or something that lives underneath the sand and moves
Maybe
around.
That's why I thought it was like a crab.
Because like that opening, that when you first see it, like when it's going through the town, like
and then
the sand is moving around like water.
Like water, yeah. And then it eats the yak thing. What is it?
The bantha.
Yeah.
Yak. Basically, it's like
a yak.
Giant furry yak.
The acid shooting out of its mouth too.
That was a really cool surprise. It was almost like a video game level where like you face the final boss and then like you think you're getting the upper hand, then you find out he has like this extra power that you didn't know about.
Yes.
You're like, oh no, how are we gonna beat this?
Yes.
Sand people are portrayed strictly as like savage people who ride around on these giant banthas and raid villages and are just savages. They look like savages, and they hint at this in season 1 where they're on Tatooine and Mando like communicates with them through sign language. You remember that?
Oh yes.
Yeah. And then in this, it's taken a step forward where Mando is still communicating with them, and he's trying to bridge the divide between Cobb Vanth's village and the Sand People, because Cobb Vanth is like, screw you guys, you guys are raiders and murderers and killers, and there's that moment where Mando like, you know, ignites his flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
To get them all to shut up. He's like, look, you're both gonna die if you don't come together. Throughout the episode, that Cobb Vanth is trying to do that. Like, there's that moment where I think one guy accidentally, like the sand person actually only drops like a bomb or something, and the guy's like, hey, what are you doing? That's an explosive, and Cobb Vanth's like, dude, it was an accident, and he's like, and then, you know, they keep pushing, like, but these guys are savage. Like, it was an accident. Like, he really pushed back against them to keep the peace. And you can see where Cobb Vanth is learning from Mando to be that bridge and be that leader that not just protects his people but unites everybody, you know? That's why Star Wars works so well, is that it's not about the spaceships and the monsters and the Mandalorians. Like, it's about what's underneath that. Like, what story are you telling with those characters?
It's almost like a message for today's world a little bit.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, culturally, I think. Like, different people from different backgrounds can work together. Language doesn't separate us. Oh gosh, I just poked him in the eye. That sounded so bad.
He's okay.
Sorry, it's like language barriers and things that people are so worried about sometimes. It didn't seem to have a problem in this episode, and I think that was very relatable to what's going on today.
What we focus on, when we are so adamant at like staying set in our ways, that we forget that we can put that aside. We don't have to sacrifice our way of living just to solve a common goal.
Yes.
Which again, I think is a good point. Like, it's really relevant for the times. It's like people can learn to accept each other as they are.
Right.
Because then, like, the same people, they're like, you know,
or get along in a, like, you can get along with anyone. Like, just.
We'll make peace. We will establish peace. But if you break it, like, things will not stay the same.
Yep.
There's not. I mean, this isn't a Baby Yoda centric episc, but he's got some
in there
great,
a lot.
Adorable moments.
He does have some adorable
when he
moments.
hides in the spittoon, that was adorable.
Oh yeah, he goes click and then back in the low cradle.
You might have something to say about this, but like, Remember when he, like, Mando's, like, when he first enters the town and he's going into the bar, he just straight up leaves, he leaves the child on the speeder bike.
Yeah, I didn't like that so much.
It's like...
That's being a bad parent.
It's like, okay,
why you leave me?
You just went through this whole season of
Why?
Like, these like tragic events of like, you know, caring for the child. All of a sudden, he's just like, stay there. This is a baby still.
Yeah.
But he crawls his way out. He gets to the bar. So
yeah.
He was fine.
And he's got powers.
And he's got the Force, so he'll
kick
everyone's butt.
The Force is with him.
He killed a stormtrooper in season 1.
He did.
He did. So Mando gets the armor back from Cobb Vanth. He says, I hope our paths cross again. And Mando rides into the twin sunset, but a mysterious figure is watching.
Ooh.
And turns around and walks towards the camera and off screen. It's Boba Fett.
He screamed.
I screamed. It's Boba Fett.
It's 11 o'clock at night and he screamed, Boba Fett!
So Boba Fett is officially confirmed, I believe, to be in this episode in this season. He is being played by Tamar Morrison, I think that's how you say his name. Obviously, because it's Tamar Morrison, you kind of assume it's Boba Fett. It can't be anybody else. It couldn't be, Captain Rex or a just random clone trooper that's still out there. Mm-hmm. Heck, it can't even be Jango Fett because Jango Fett's dead. So it has to be Boba Fett, and obviously because he's got these giant, like, swords and guns sticking out of his back, you know he's been wandering around the desert for a long time. And the fact that he's eyeing Mando, maybe he's seen everything that went down, he sees, maybe he saw the armor, I'm not sure, but, like, you can tell they're kind of setting him up to be an antagonist, possibly, for Mando, and he might even, take advantage of the child to get his armor back. And he wants, we don't know what Boba Fett wants. We don't even know how he survived the Sarlacc pit, but clearly he did. He may have gotten scarred in the process, but there's just so many awesome questions to answer about Boba Fett. So this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the episode, where they don't just give us the answer of whether Boba Fett's alive. They give Boba Fett this really great start to his reintroduction into the Star Wars universe, which shows him possibly being, again, this formidable antagonist who will try to face off with Mando to get his armor back. Do you think we'll see Boba Fett again in this season? Because there was a hint at last season where he picked up the dead body of Ming-Na Wen's character.
Yes.
And I thought that was Boba Fett. It still could be.
I feel like if they showed his face at the end of this episode, they're either going to show him again and build up a character and have him repeat appearances throughout the season, or he won't come back until a couple seasons or a couple episodes.
Yeah, that's what I was
There'll be like 2 or 3 episodes until he comes back, and they'll be like, oh, finally.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe
it'll keep the people intrigued.
Sure, like I think maybe we'll see Cobb Vanth again, possibly this season. I'm not sure about that. I think it's almost definite that we're gonna get Boba Fett again in this season.
Yes.
The title's pretty cool. Chapter 9. It's not like, episode 1 or chapter 1, season 2. It's the serialized nature of the whole show. The whole show is gonna be like this, where it's not just, in a way, it makes the show, again, like this constantly going adventure, almost like a comic book or something, because most of these things take place seamlessly. And it seems like The Mandalorian is kind of going for that same effect, which I think is, again, pretty cool. What were your overall thoughts on episode 1, The Marshal?
Really liked it. And I thought that since after a whole entire year of not seeing The Mandalorian, I actually remembered quite a bit of what happened.
Well, we also watched we watched the last
half of the last episode of season 1. For some reason, I felt it was really different in that it focused on one thing, and it feels like it's gonna just completely move on from that one thing.
Yeah.
This was about killing the Krayt Dragon and getting Boba Fett's suit back.
Yeah, again, like that self-contained, serialized side quest type stuff.
Yeah, and so I feel like a lot of this season will kind of be like that, where each episode is going to be specific to something, and I didn't feel like a lot of episodes were like that in season 1. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, there were. I mean, they had to establish the main story, obviously.
That's true.
But there were like side quest episodes for sure. But you like that this one started off the show with.
Yes.
It kind of teased us with the overall story of like we have to find Baby Yoda's homeworld and we have to restore order to the Mandalorian covert. But it also pushed that off to the side to do this fun like side quest.
Yes, it's my favorite episode because of the Crate Dragon.
Really?
That was a big thing.
Why specifically the Crate Dragon?
Oh, it was really cool. I like weird, creepy dragon things like that.
Oh,
so
nice. She usually doesn't like those
monster
things, so
stuff.
Pretty cool.
So yeah.
Oh, what did you think of the aspect ratio? Like.
Oh, we forgot to talk about that. That was so cool, and I didn't realize it was happening until he was like, "Wow, the Great Dragon is as big as the screen."
We rounded it like twice because we were like,
"Yeah, it was so cool.
What's happening?" And it's weird because like it has this like IMAX effect to it. Like it obviously doesn't look like, you can't tell it's shot on IMAX on like a home TV or a laptop you're watching on a laptop. But it kind of like that.
Yeah, it was really
the dragon
cool.
was coming out of the ground. Like it did have
terrifying.
that same effect. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this. Is probably I would go so far as to say this is my favorite episode of The Mandalorian so far. I loved this episode.
It was really good.
And I love it because not only does it give us all these great fan servicey Star Wars moments, but it puts like heart and weight and emotion and like a human story underneath that. It's about a sheriff who is hiding behind a shell of armor because he doesn't think he alone is capable of defending his town, and he learns about how capable he is of defending these people in these towns. And he's able to give up the Mandalorian, give up Boba Fett's armor, as they agreed. He learns honor and self-reliance, which is a really cool thing. I mean, it's a great thing for kids to learn who love Star Wars, and it's a great thing for, again, just a very simple story. It's very simple stuff to digest for Star Wars fans. And then the action was fantastic. Just the whole way they used Boba Fett's armor and the character as well to create such an unexpected story was really, really well done. I love this episode so much, and it gets me so excited for, like, this is only the first episode and we already have so much revealed that we didn't think was going to be revealed. I mean, I had no idea this would be I thought they would kind of start off small with the first episode, but they started off big, and it's only the beginning. So I'm super excited to watch the rest of this show. I'm gonna rate it I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I agree.
9.5 out of 10?
Yeah.
Alright, there you go. 9.5 out of 10 for both of us. Thank you all for watching this review of The Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 9, The Marshal. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can check out my short films, trailer reactions, excerpts from the Vince Salerno podcast, which I will be starting up again very soon. Kate, where can people follow you? And first off, what do you do on YouTube online? What are you doing?
Oh, I have a vlog channel, and I also have I'm just calling it miscellaneous channel for right now. I like bringing fun, positive stuff to you guys in a dark world. So check me out.
She's great.
At Kate McDonald.
Follow her on Instagram. You guys can follow me on all the social medias, which will be linked down below in the description of this video. Check back next time for chapter 10, The Mandalorian Season 2. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, comment below. If you didn't like it, comment below. And let's hear your thoughts. So thank you all for watching. Have a great day. God bless, and peace out.